anytime we have a loss of life involving a traffic collision, it's one too many losses.
Labor Day weekend turned deadly here in Jessamine County after a crash that claimed 2 lives.
New developments tonight in the Kim Davis case. Her attorneys have filed an appeal of her contempt of court order. And UK fans got a surprise before kickoff when a drone crashed inside the stadium.
Tracking, alerting, protecting. This is WKYT News at 11.
We now know the name of one of the people killed in a deadly crash in Jessamine County. Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Kristen Kennedy. The crash happened right around 1 o'clock this afternoon on US 27 near the Dish Barn. Tonight, Jessamine County Coroner Michael Hughes identified 28-year-old Rusty Johnson as the pickup truck driver killed in the crash. Garrett Weimer has the latest on the wreck in our top story at 11.
US 27 sees a lot of traffic, and this holiday weekend is no exception. But police say such a bad accident on this stretch of the road doesn't happen often.
Not really in this part here. It's not really an intersection. It's not where we would typically see on a long straight stretch such as this. So no, we don't.
Police say a maroon Ford Explorer crossed the center line and hit a tan pickup truck head on. The coroner says the drivers of both cars were killed. He identified the driver of the truck as 28-year-old Rusty Johnson. 3 others inside Johnson's truck were taken to the hospital. One man who works nearby said the crash sounded like a cannon going off. Another man told me he and several others rushed out to help when they heard the crash. He says they were able to get one person out of the car, but that was all they could do. The crash closed southbound lanes on 27 for 5 hours Sunday afternoon. Northbound traffic was backed up as cars made their way past the scene while crews investigated the crash.
This is a tough situation. A busy holiday weekend, lots of traffic, lots of people out. And again, we don't know what caused this collision, so it's way too early to tell in this investigation. But anytime we have a loss of life involving a traffic collision, it's one too many losses.
In Jessamine County, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
The coroner has not yet identified the second victim. Police say a third car was hit after the others crashed, but no one was hurt and the car was only partially damaged. We're tracking a developing story tonight involving the case against Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis. Davis's attorneys have filed an appeal of the contempt of court order with the 6th Circuit Court of Appeals. Last Thursday, a federal judge found her in contempt of court for refusing to issue marriage licenses and sent her to the Carter County Detention Center. Attorney Matt Staver says Judge David Bunning found Davis in contempt without filing any documents. He released a statement this evening saying, quote, Mrs. Davis is entitled to proper notice and due process when she is threatened with the loss of her freedom. There is no indication that she would be incarcerated. Davis's attorneys are also asking the 6th Circuit Court to expedite the ruling so Davis doesn't have to sit in jail. Presidential candidates are still weighing in on Davis's jailing. Ohio Governor and Republican presidential candidate John Kasich says Davis should follow the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling and issue licenses. The governor said while he believes in traditional marriage, he also believes Davis should comply with the Supreme Court's ruling. He told ABC's This Week Davis is a government employee, not someone running a church. Republican candidate Mike Huckabee has said he thinks her jailing represents the criminalization of Christianity. He compared her refusal to issue marriage licenses to conscientious objections to slavery. Huckabee was also on ABC's This Week.
Obey it if it's right. So I go back to my question. Is slavery the law of the land? Should it have been the law of the land because Dred Scott said so? Was that a correct decision? Should the courts have been irrevocably followed on that? Should Lincoln have been put in jail because he ignored it?
Organizers have planned another rally for Davis this Tuesday outside the jail. Huckabee is expected to attend. Deputies in Franklin County found a missing teen from Georgetown tonight. Deputies in Scott County say 15-year-old Matthew Stewart told his father he was going for a run around 1 today. And when he didn't come home after 30 minutes, his father went looking for him. We're told he has a history of mental issues. The Franklin County Sheriff's Office says they received a report that someone rented him a room for a night in Frankfort. At last check, his parents were en route to pick him up. We just can't seem to shake off this summer-like weather, and it looks like tomorrow will be a hot and humid Labor Day. Mike Linden is keeping a close eye on the potential for some pop-up showers tomorrow. Mike?
Well, Kristen, we just can't seem to shake this pattern at all. This late summer heat and especially the humidity rolls on right into our Labor Day Monday. Of course, with the sun already set, there's not much going on through the evening hours. Things have quieted down considerably from where we were earlier this afternoon, sweeping the skies, but not much to find. Temperature-wise, there's a whole lot to feel out there. Still rather warm and warmer than normal at that. Fayette County, one of the warmest of the bunch at 76. Jefferson County, 80 degrees, with most spots already beginning to slip back into the low 70s and upper 60s. But coming up in just a few minutes, I'll break down what I expect to find for the week ahead of us. Of course, tomorrow is Labor Day, and it doesn't look like we'll break out of this pattern just yet. But we are tracking some big changes to the forecast that are set to arrive by the middle of the week and finally set to push us forward toward autumn. Kristen?
Mike, we have an update tonight on a child abuse case out of Laurel County. Deputies say an infant is still recovering from life-threatening injuries. Deputies arrested the child's mother, Bessie Sizemore, and cousin, Michael Henson, Friday. Both are facing child abuse charges. Right now, deputies say the baby is temporarily blind and suffering from a broken rib and head trauma. Deputies also took a 2-year-old living at the home to a hospital in London for what they think are similar abuse-related injuries. Lexington police officers made a quick arrest in an overnight shooting. Investigators found a man shot in the leg surrounded by a large crowd around 1:30 this morning in a parking lot on Winchester Road. They took him to UK Hospital. They say the gunshot wound was non-life-threatening. They're charging 20-year-old Antonio Dwayne Simpson with wanton endangerment, receiving stolen property, and possession of a handgun by a felon. A drone dropped inside a packed Commonwealth Stadium this weekend. A UK spokesperson says a student was flying it. The drone crashed on the suite level of the stadium just before last night's game. UK police have been talking with the student.
There are a lot of rules about drones right now, and regulations are evolving, but one rule is pretty clear and unambiguous, and that's you don't have it in or around the stadium on game day at game time. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong, and that's a clear example last night of what happened. And you had a full stadium shortly before the kickoff. The drone clearly probably got away, which can happen, and something bad could have happened, and we're fortunate that it didn't.
UK police are not yet sure if they'll charge or cite the drone's owner. They plan on deciding what to do later this week. Supporters of a Lexington Kroger shutting down are holding a rally tomorrow to try and keep it open. Kroger leaders announced last week they will shut down their Romney Road location for good this coming Saturday. Kroger says the store has been losing money since 2008. The group plans to hold their rally at the Romney Kroger tomorrow morning at 11. Police in Flemingsburg are releasing images of an overnight burglary in the hopes you'll recognize the man walking up and down the aisles. The theft happened at Ken's New Market. Police say the man broke in through a window between 1 and 4 this morning. The surveillance footage shows him grabbing cigarettes behind a counter. We're told he also stole food, toilet paper, and paper towels. Police believe the same person broke into the store last month and stole cigarettes and steaks. Police in northern Kentucky are trying to figure out what led to an inmate's death. Deputies moved the woman from the Campbell County Jail into the Kenton County Detention Center Friday. She was in a cell with other inmates who told officers there was something wrong with her. She went to the hospital early Saturday morning and died later that day. Police say her death does not appear to be a suicide or an assault. And in Harlan County, police are looking for an inmate who escaped from a hospital. 21-year-old Joe Johnson was in prison for fraudulent use of a credit card, theft by deception, wanton endangerment, and assaulting a police officer. He has brown hair, blue eyes, weighs 180 pounds, and is 6 feet 8 inches tall. At the time of his escape, he was wearing white pants and a white T-shirt. State police are still searching for an inmate who walked away from the Bell County Forestry Camp. Investigators noticed 40-year-old James Chad Cowles missing a little before 7 last night. He's 5'9", 160 pounds with brown hair and green eyes. He was serving a 23-year sentence for burglary and theft. Tuesday's fire in downtown Hazard left many people without homes, and officers say that same fire scared away several pets. So far, police have found 2 dogs wandering around the burned building on Main Street. The Kentucky River Regional Animal Shelter is helping with the search and rescue efforts. Officers are hoping to reunite the pets with their owners.
Because this is a traumatic event, it's important to know that something that's precious to you has been returned, and that's all we're trying to do is just help put lives back together and get things back to order.
The 2 dogs found are both pit bulls. They are female. One is black, the other is white. For now, shelter leaders are taking care of them. In just 2 days, Stephen Colbert will raise the curtain on a brand new late show. Colbert is taking over the show from David Letterman. He is no newbie to the late night circuit. Suzanne Marquez talks with the star about his plans for late night laughs.
Stephen Colbert has been in America's living rooms for almost 2 decades. His first big role came in 1997 as a correspondent on Comedy Central's The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. In 2005, that role led to the spin-off show, The Colbert Report. His name is in lights again as he prepares to take over as host of The Late Show. I recently sat down with Colbert in Los Angeles.
So what drives you? What motivates you?
Anything dumb to do. I like talking about things that are happening in the news. I mean, one of the nice things about doing a nightly show like this is that it's hard to get tired of your subject matter because it changes every day.
Colbert says the entire creative team from The Colbert Report made the move with him to the Ed Sullivan Theater, but expect a very different tone. Colbert says don't look for the over-the-top politically charged character he played on The Colbert Report.
We're still going to talk about the things we talked about before. I'm just not going to do it as a pundit.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be, trying to make you angry or afraid, which is what pundits do for a living.
Variety columnist Brian Lowry says he shouldn't have any problem.
Stephen Colbert was the guy playing Stephen Colbert. So if he can ad-lib as a version of Stephen Colbert in character, I'm pretty confident he can be pretty funny as Stephen Colbert.
Hopefully you'll have a good time.
That's Colbert's goal, too. He says he approaches every job with joy. Suzanne Marquez, CBS News, New York.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert premieres this Tuesday at 11:30 right here on WKYT.